Hello there, this is a new channel that I'm just opening up. I'm not by any means an expert or an audiophile or anything like that. I'm just a lover of music, and about 2 years ago I bought this for my dad actually for a Christmas present. It's the Bang & Olufsen beoCenter 8500, and basically I bought it for about, I think it was £150, and I had to do a bit of a rebuild on it. I had to replace all of the foam parts of the speakers on all the speakers. It came from a really good house actually. It was in the middle of the countryside, and you could tell as soon as you saw the sort of people in the house that they'd looked after it. It was just, it needed some work on it. So I replaced all of the foam parts around the speakers. I'm not sure what the technical word is for that, but let's see if I can get that to go in right. But nevertheless, they've all been done on both sides. The speakers on these things weigh an absolute ton. I think they're aluminium, but they have a lovely sound. I'm going to play it. I'm not really sure whether that will throw any kind of copyright up, but I'd like to show you the thing working. But just to show you, everything is touch sensitive on these things. So you literally just press the load the tape there, and that's what you get. On the other side it's exactly the same with the CD. Just load the CD. Now the things that I had to do on it to get it for that price was I had to change all of the phone speakers. Like I said, both of these glass parts here are notoriously bad at falling to pieces, and what I did on this is I actually just put it all in place and glued it all. The other thing that I had to do was these things. If you look on the internet, you find a lot of people asking why don't they work. Well, obviously the first thing to do is to clean the battery terminals with a bit of white vinegar or whatnot, which I did, but it still wouldn't work. And I found a tip on the internet where you short between the positive and the negative there on the terminals, and believe it or not, that resets this thing, and it works from there on in, which I'll show you in a bit. But the reason why I'm doing a video on this is I am actually amazed at the sound of this thing. And like I say, I'm no audiophile, I just love music. But I do love the sound of kind of analog music, retro kind of sound. And what I found with this is that the tape player is exceptional. The radio is phenomenal. But even the CD, for some reason, it obviously has to do with the transistors and the way that they make these things. But even playing like a digital file, a CD, there's a definite warmth that you get with this over some more kind of modern equipment. I don't know what they've done or how they did it, but it does sound really beautiful. This is just in a little bedroom, and the setup here is really perfect. So I'll just show you the radio on this first. So here's the radio. There you've got your volume there. Turn the
a safe pair of hands, someone they could trust, someone they felt would be impartial, and that's really been the theme throughout this and throughout the speeches.
It's got a beautiful radio. I like listening to the classical stuff, but it's got a lovely warm sound. So then you've got the tape player. Bit of Dire Straits on there, Brothers in Arms. Let's turn that up a bit. Beautiful sound. And I'll just stick a CD in. One of my favourite CDs is Van Morrison, The Healing Game. Superb album. Amazing production on this. I'll just stick this in a second. Go over to this thing is just loading up now. This thing weighs a ton. It's built like a tank. It's solid aluminium. Beautiful sound. Beautiful sound. Okay, I'll stop there because I don't quite know how the copyright thing is going to work, but I am not like an electronic engineer or anything like that. I wouldn't know how to strip these things down and start resoldering stuff. So everything that I've done on this is fairly basic. Obviously cleaning the heads on there, gluing these things down, sorting out the remote control. But it is, I think anyway, a stunning looking piece of equipment. When you look at this thing here, it's really futuristic. It kind of reminds me of the sort of 1970s Lotus Elite, those kind of sort of, you know, wedges that were around back in the 70s. But Bang & Olufsen are obviously famous for peculiar designs, and I don't think they come more kind of peculiar than this. It's really quite beautifully made. The next model up, by the way, there's a model up from this, which is sound quality is no different. It's exactly the same sound, but all this here is polished aluminium. This is just the one I got, and it is genuinely, surprisingly lush to listen to. It has a really kind of fat, warm sound, and I'm quite blown away by it. I think it looks beautiful as well, you know, and I don't think it would look kind of out of place in any room. But it just goes to show you that for a fairly humble price of £150 off the internet, you can pick up a bargain. These things are definitely going up in value. I've checked eBay since then, and I think I could probably sell this now for getting on for £300 to the right person. But even the speakers alone, I think, so I've seen the speakers alone up for 200. So in conclusion then, I would say concerning this system here, the Bang & Olufsen beoCenter 8500, if you're somebody that likes something a little bit retro and you like the look of something that's a little bit unusual, I think this system is one. I think it's still a bargain. I have no idea how much these things were new, but I'm guessing they were really expensive. You've only got to pick one of these things up. Whoa! By the way, I also went out and bought brand new speaker cables. The actual speaker cables that you get for these. I couldn't believe the difference of the sound by just buying brand new speaker cables as well. But yeah, it's had brand new speaker cables. All the foam has been done on the speakers. I've redone all the glass there, and I've sorted out the remote. And still, you know, they're only selling for about £300 even now in this kind of condition. I think they're an absolute bargain, and I think they're not going to satisfy the kind of people with a really keen ear for sound. I'm sure of that. But for somebody like myself, somebody that just loves music, this has a really warm, fat kind of sound to it. It does sound analog. Even the CD sounds analog in it. It's a lovely, lovely unit, and I originally bought it around here just to repair it and make it good to sell, and now I've got it all working. I'm really massively in two minds as to whether to sell the thing or not, because it just sounds so good. So Thank you for watching. This is my first attempt at doing a review of a retro kind of a hi-fi. Please stick us a thumbs up if you've liked the video, and please subscribe if you want to see any more videos like this. I have got one or two other things that I want to look at and do a review on. Thanks again.